Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to learn about TCP bus, that is TCP with buffering capability and a sequence information. It is similar to the TCP-F feedback TCP and TCP-ELFN, that is TCP with explicit link failure notification in its use of feedback information from an intermediate node on detection of a path break. That means how intermediate node detects the path break using the feedback. How this happens in TCP-F and TCP-ELFN, the same happens in this TCP bus also. But TCP bus is more dependent on the routing protocol compared to the TCP-F and TCP-ELFN. Here, TCP bus was proposed by using this associativity based routing protocol. ABR protocol is used in this TCP bus. Hence, it makes use of the sum of special messages such as localized query LQ packet and reply packet, which are defined as a part of the LBR for finding a partial path. These messages are modified to carry the TCP connection information and segment information. I'll tell you in the later points. Here, upon detection of the path break, after detecting a path break, an upstream intermediate node called as a pivot node PN originates an explicit route disconnection notification message. I'll explain it to you. See. For example, let us consider this. Here, this S is the source node and this D is the destination node. For example, the path is here from 1 to 5 to 10 to 12 to 15. This is the way how the messages are transmitted. For example, if source node is sending the messages from source to the destination, then this is known as upstream. If destination is sending its acknowledgement, then this is known as downstream. This is upstream, this is downstream. I hope you understand it. The nodes that which are involved in this upstream are known as upstream nodes, and the nodes that which are involved in this downstream are known as downstream nodes. There might be chances for same nodes to be involved in upstream and downstream as also. If a node detects a path break, for example, let us consider this is source and this is destination. If this here the path break has happened, then this node will originate an ERDN packet. ERDN packet will be originated by this node, which is pivot node, It will originate the ERDN packet and it will send it to the sender. That is what is explained in this line. Upon detection of the path break, an upstream intermediate node called a pivot node originates an explicit route disconnection notification message. This ERDN packet is propagated to the TCP bus sender, and upon reception of it, the TCP bus sender will stop transmission any more packet and it will freezes all the timers and windows as in the case of TCP-F. In feedback based TCP also, if path break occurs, then if the TCP sender receives a message intimating about this path break, then the sender will stop the transmission and freezes all the timers and windows. Same procedure is followed in this TCP bus also. Next point. The packets in the transit means the packets which are in the process of transmitting from source to the destination at the intermediate nodes from the TCP bus sender to the pivot node are buffered until a new partial path from the pivot node to the TCP bus receiver is obtained by the pivot node. I'll explain it to you. For example, let us consider again the sender is sending some packets. It is sending some packets to this destination. If here path break has happened, then the packet which has been received by this node 4 will be buffered. Means this node 4 will save this packet in its memory. It will not just discard it, or it will not leave it like that. It must save it for further retransmission until a partial path or another path has been found to this destination. I hope you understand it. And in order to avoid the unnecessary retransmissions, the timers for the buffered packets at the TCP bus sender and at the intermediate nodes up to the PN pivot node use timeout values. They use big values proportional to the round trip time. The intermediate nodes between the TCP bus, the intermediate nodes that which are present between the TCP bus sender and the pivot node can request the TCP bus sender to selectively retransmit any of the lost packets. It will selectively retransmit any of the lost packet to avoid the retransmissions of the already transmitted packet. Upon detection of a path break, the downstream node means the nodes, I have told you, the nodes which are involved from destination to the source, originates a route notification packet to the TCP bus receiver. It will originate a route notification packet to the TCP bus receiver, which is forwarded by all the downstream nodes in the path. An intermediate node that receives an RN packet discards all the packets belonging to that flow. I'll explain to you. See, for example, let us consider now this is the destination, but here we have the sender. See, this is the downstream. Here like this they are transmitting. If here the path break has happened, then the packet which has been received here by node 9, it will just discard that packet. And this 9 node will send a route notification message to this node 13. I hope you understand it. The ERDN packet is propagated to the TCP bus sender in a reliable way, such that the ERDN packet will surely reach the TCP bus sender by using an implicit acknowledgement. Means by nature it will acknowledge. And retransmission mechanism. The pivot node includes the sequence number of the TCP segment belonging to the flow that is currently at the head of its queue in the ERDN packet. Sequence number means nothing but randomly generated number, which will be included by the PN node of the TCP segment in order to correctly identify the packets which are at the head of the queue. The PN also attempts to find a new partial route. It will also attempts to find a new partial route to the TCP bus receiver, and the availability of such a partial path to the destination is intimated to the TCP bus sender through an explicit route successful notification. If at all a new partial path is available to the TCP bus sender, then the PN node will at the time instant it will just notify the TCP bus sender about that new path by sending this explicit route successful notification packet. Explicit route successful notification packet is sent to it. And next point is this: TCP bus utilizes the route reconfiguration mechanism of ABR to obtain the partial route to the destination. In order to obtain the partial route to the destination, route reconfiguration mechanism which is involved in ABR is also used in this TCP bus. Due to this, other routing protocols may require changes to support the TCP bus. The LQ means localized query and reply messages are modified to carry the TCP segment information, including the last successfully received segment at the destination. Whatever the packet that has been successfully received at the destination, that information will be there in this TCP segment information. The LQ packet carries the sequence number of the segment at the head of the queue buffered at the pivot node, and the reply carries the sequence number of the last successfully segment the TCP bus receiver has received. Sequence number of the head of the queue, and reply will carry the sequence number of the last successfully received segment. This enables the TCP bus receiver to understand the packets that are lost in the transmission and those buffered at the intermediate nodes. This sequence number storage will enable the TCP bus receiver to understand which packets are lost and what are buffered at the intermediate nodes. This is used to avoid the fast retransmission request usually generated by the TCP bus receiver when it notices an out of order packet delivery. Upon a successful LQ reply process, after this successful LQ reply process, to obtain a new route, in order to obtain a new route, we use this LQ reply process, right? To obtain a new route to the TCP bus receiver, pivot node informs the TCP bus sender of the new partial path using the ERSN, explicit route successful notification packet. When the TCP bus sender receives an ERSN packet, it resumes the data transmission. After receiving this ERSN packet by the pivot node, the TCP bus sender will start the data transmission again. Since there is a chance for ERSN packet loss due to the congestion in the network, the ERSN packet can also be lost, right? So it needs to be sent reliably. Means it need to be sent reliably in the sense it must be delivered to the TCP bus sender at any cost. The TCP bus sender also periodically originates probe packets to check the availability of the path to the destination. Not only ERSN specifies the availability of other path, these probe packets are also used to detect the availability of other path to the destination. When a TCP bus sender receives the ERSN message, it understands from the sequence number of the last successfully received packet at the destination and the sequence number of the packet at the head of the queue at the PN, the packet lost in the transition. The TCP bus receiver understands that the lost packets will be delayed further, means the lost packet, whatever the packets that are lost, will be delayed further, and hence uses a selective acknowledgement strategy instead of fast retransmission. These lost packets are retransmitted by the TCP bus sender. During the retransmission of these lost packets, the network congestion between the TCP bus sender and the pivot node is handled in a way similar to that in the traditional TCP. I'll explain to you using this diagram. I hope you can see it. This is the TCP bus sender. Here the TCP data flow happens. This green lines indicates the TCP data flow happens between this destination. This is the destination and this is the sender. Yes, this is how the data flow happens between them. Suddenly there happens a broken link, path break occurs. Then this pivot node will originate this ERDN packet, means explicit route disconnection notification will be originated, and then this node 1 will just abruptly stops all the data transmission and it will freeze all the timers and it will stop everything. Then this this pivot node will try to detect all other routes that are available to the destination. For example, from source node to destination node, if at all a packet has reached here but the broken link has been happened here, this node 4 will buffer this means it will store this packet till another partial route is available to the destination. If, see, this is the route notification. This is the localized query. Localized query will be sent from pivot node to the destination node, and it will reply us. This is the reply. We'll get the reply if a new partial path is available. See, we'll give a reply, and this is the LQ. These two will carry the information about the lost segment sequence number and the head of the queue sequence number. These queue. This is the RN packet. This is the localized query. These two will carry that information, and if at all a new path is available, we will get a route notification reply if new path is available. Advantages: performance improvement, avoidance of fast retransmission due to the use of buffering, sequence numbering and selective acknowledgement. There is no fast retransmission because of this buffering, sequence numbering and selective acknowledgement. TCP bus also takes the advantage of the underlying routing protocols, especially the on-demand routing protocols such as ABR. No one uses ABR in their TCP protocols, right? But TCP bus has used it. That is one advantage. And the disadvantages are increased dependency on the routing protocol and the buffering at the intermediate nodes, which is a burden to the nodes, because of which bandwidth consumption, power consumption will happen. The failure of the intermediate nodes that buffer the packets may lead to the loss of packets. The failure of intermediate nodes that buffer the packets may lead to the loss of packets. If at all these intermediate nodes have moved out, then the packet loss will occur, right? And the performance also degrades. The TCP bus dependency on the routing protocol may degrade its performance with other routing protocols that do not have similar control messages as in ABR. That means it is not compatible with other protocols. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find my video worth watching, please do subscribe to my channel.